And the last example I would give you is a wonderful, wonderful, amazing example that Sondra Boon in her book, What the Ocean Remembers, does. And she follows a ship called the Cape Colette from Calcutta in 1873. And it leaves Calcutta, it goes all the way down to the Cape of Good Hope in South Africa and eventually ends up in Suriname. And she follows the ship demonstrating that all of these bodies of water are connected. That the idea that the Atlantic is an over-determined paradigm is a problem for our contemporary thought, if you will. Taken together, these works join many others in offering us what I would call a black eulogy of the sea. Here I think of C.L.R. James Mariner's Renegades and Castaways. I think of Dion Brown's The Bank of No Return, Basie Phillips' Zang, Kamal Bradford's Middle Passage, and so many more. The sea recurs in Derek Walker's oeuvre as more than root. What these works teach us is that across seas, those of us subject to and subjected to the most brutal of human degradations have had to cultivate new modes of being, other ways of living, so that new imaginative possibilities might still take root among us. This cultivation of lives not meant to be lived have been lived with a ferocity of thought, care, and communality in service of implanting, rooting, and maybe even harvesting new ways of being together. This is not dialectic, but rather dialectic, as Kamal Bradford renamed and re-indigenized it in the Caribbean region. The discuss launched at the Barca Nostra, or boat, a discuss that makes me wonder about what we seek to keep submerged, opens up the question of how do we mourn those lives that are the foundation upon which ours become possible. I'm suggesting that we do so, that to do so we need a better theory of the seas than the ones we currently have. The question of what might be the foundation of our life is then pertinent to our concerns. So finally, in Christina Sharp in The Wake, she writes of resonant time, quote, the amount of time it takes for a substance to enter the ocean is called residence time, she writes. And it is central to the cycle of life. Bodies break down and are consumed by organisms, which in turn are consumed by other organisms. And as Sharp explains, a human body would not make it to the seafloor. It would be consumed well before. Because of this cycle of life, death becomes life as nutrients. And of course, the climate emergency has made the sea a particularly knotted and complicated terrain for black life in the global south, along with all of the other species. And here now I think of Puerto Rico, I think of Barbuda, in particular I think about the sand exportation from Barbuda as bridging these things together for me, the ongoing forms of excavation that shape human life and shape the lives of the species in the region that I come from. What the sea offers us is a horizon, one from which we might begin to revamp anew a different set of universals. Thank you.